Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Solana, ticker SOL against USDT. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing your money into crypto. Make sure to check out our Telegram chat. We're doing great things in there, sharing great low cap gems, sharing news that you might have missed out, and answering all the questions that you might have regarding some projects or some transaction issues that you have. It's a great little community that we're building there, so make sure to check it out. Now, jumping into the weekly chart, we can see that we have lost the 20 EMA as support, and this is a bearish indicator. We want to get right back above it. What we could see happening is us falling back to this 34 EMA. So this is not the 55. I usually have the 55 as red, but in order to have the 55 opened up, we need 55 candles to have data from. And we don't have that yet on the weekly chart. So that's why I'm pulling out the 34 EMA, because it is one of the better ones to use. So you can see that we might have a little drop off to $23 if we were to drop down. And I did state in the previous videos that we might be dropping down, and I did give you some nice buying orders. And that did actually happen. We got some of the orders, I believe, and we're gonna take a look at that a bit later. But right now, I want to take a look at the weekly chart. So obviously, we want to get above the 20 EMA for continuation, because we don't want to be far above it or far below it. We want to stick to the 20 EMA, thus pulling it with us to the upside. That is the healthiest thing that we can do. If we go down to the relative strength index, we can see that we were so overbought here. The index was at 97, so that's that's very overbought. And we are starting to make these lower lows and lower highs, which is basically an indicator of a downtrend. So if we start coming back up, you can expect the RSI to perhaps rebound from here, because it seems like Bitcoin is starting a little move to the upside and then come back down, and just expect this to be a trend line of support if it does indeed hold up. We'll come back later to see if it does, because as you can see in here, it did hold up as well. Okay, so if we go to the MACD over here for a second, is this the MACD? I do apologize. There we go, that's the MACD. So on the MACD, we're coming back down to the histogram, and we are starting to get overextended. So the signal, the blue signal line is far from the moving average, which means that we could see some upside movement in the near future. Also, let's take a look at the stock RSI. This is one of the better indicators to use. So it has a lot more weight, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, it has a lot more weight and than the relative strength index. And this is the stochastic RSI. So we have bottomed out. So pretty much when you come back down here into this area, the only way from here is towards the upside, right? So we can expect a move to the upside soon, guys. I mean, Solana is one of the strongest assets. It's been performing super well in this dip, and it hasn't even dropped all that much. I mean, yeah, it was peaking out at $60 over here, but the lowest it was at was, I believe, $19.50. Yeah, and it has recovered tremendously well back into the 44 range, and now it's dropping back down. But hopefully, we can hold the 20 MAS support for continuation, and we're gonna move on very nicely. So the stock RSI is giving me a nice signal here. And before we jump into any other time frames, I do want to jump into the 12-hour time frame, because this is important. So we have this strong buying area, right? This would be between 25 but basically $26 all the way down to $20.51. Keep that in mind. And here what we have is a inverse head and shoulder. So this was the first head if we don't count the wicks. This was the shoulder, the head, and this is perhaps the right shoulder that we're forming at the moment. And this is a very bullish pattern, because usually what happens is we tend to break out to the upside, and we have this neckline over here. What we do is we take the top of from the top of the head to the neckline, and that is where if we break the neckline, and that is where you might see us pump, and that would be around $52.40. So that is something that we can see on the 12-hour chart. Maybe that's something that's going to play out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, guys. But make sure to have some buy orders in between $26 and $21, because like I showed you on the 34 EMA, we might be dropping down to it. But I don't usually take a look at the 12-hour chart, but as you can see, we had an EMA squeeze over here. The 20 EMA got rejected off the 55 EMA, and that propelled it to the downside, and now the price is really in this downtrend. But if we start recovering now, we are actually going to continue with this inverse head and shoulders. The only way we invalidate the head and shoulders if we make a lower low, which would mean that we're making constant lower lows, and that is just a downtrend. So yeah, keep that in mind, and we hopefully can come up with these head and shoulders patterns. But these patterns take time to play out, guys, so don't expect all of this to play out by tomorrow or by next week. You have to be patient with this. You have to wait. Crypto is basically a waiting game. Imagine those people who have bought some altcoins in the previous bull run, and you know, holding it till the next bull run. You're obviously going to be in massive gains, but who has, you know, those diamond hands? And you gotta have those diamond hands, man, in order to survive on this market. So for me personally, I haven't sold anything at a loss. I'm just accumulating the dips because I believe in crypto long term, and I don't know, but I'm certain that December is going to be this peak month that we have, or towards the end of the year, probably November, December, because we have a lot of bullish news towards the end of the year. And yeah, so keep an eye on this head and shoulders pattern. If we go into the daily chart at the moment, you can see that we have formed a bearish cross, and what potentially could happen is we might come back to the 200 EMA, and the 200 EMA would be $25, somewhere around that price, and that is exactly where where we are in the buying area that I gave you. So have some buy orders at the daily 200 EMA, because that is important. We might drop with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is expected to come back to the monthly 20 EMA, and that is at around $26,000. So keep that in mind. And what is happening basically on the daily is we're constantly making these higher lows, and this is very healthy, as you can see. I do apologize about all the drawings, but you can see what I'm talking about here. We made a low here, then we made a higher low here, and we made a higher low here. So this means that there is buying pressure, and this means that this is a strong asset, and this means that we are in a sort of uptrend, but with these little retracements. But this bearish cross is one thing that I don't really like. It seems like we're gonna get suppressed by the 20 EMA for some time. If we take a look at the MACD, this is just a confirmation of this downtrend. On the MACD, the moving average crossed below the signal line, so we're kind of bearish right now. But on the Stochastic Rsi, we have bottomed out essentially, and we are waiting for that move towards the upside. So what I'm seeing right now is perhaps a reversal wave to the upside, or not a reversal wave, but an impulsive wave towards the upside. And perhaps we can be bullish for a couple of days and maybe a week, because some of the RSIs are showing us moves towards the upside are going to be possible. If not, if Bitcoin continues going down, then the daily 200 EMA is your friend. And if we jump into the 4-hourly chart at the moment, let's see what's going on over there. Yeah, so we made this bearish cross on the 4 hourly, but on the 4 hourly we have bottomed out over here, as you can see. So yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good, and the MACD obviously is starting to curl up. As you can see, the moving average, the yellow line, is starting to curl up for for that bullish cross on the MACD to cross the signal line. And on the stock RSI, hold on a second. Yeah, on the stock RSI, we have been bottoming out for quite some time now, since July 12th, I believe, yeah. And now we're starting to come back up. We're moving towards the upside, and that is always good. So potentially we might be bullish, and you can expect some moves towards the upside. So perhaps if you bought in right now, then you can sell at some resistance levels. And the first resistance level that I have here is going to be $31.63. And that is because we have created such a nice support level over here for this price range, and then we lost it as support over here. So keep that in mind. Obviously, that is where the 55 EMA is going to be by the time we come up there. So that can act as a strong level of resistance. Keep that in mind. And the 200 EMA and the 20 EMA, all of these are strong resistance levels, and we might get rejected off of them. But if we enter a consolidation phase, then we are going to be going sideways like this until we have a break to the downside or to the upside. And that is basically TA101 for you guys. But yeah, like I said, we might follow Bitcoin and have a little pump. Bitcoin gets rejected at 39K, and some of the altcoins have nice runs, but if we do come back to 26K, it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be the time for smart investors to put in their money. And that is exactly what I'm going to be doing, picking up some altcoins and picking up more XRP and Cosmos Atom, which are my most bullish projects at the moment. So yeah, like I said, we have a strong resistance level at $37.25, a nice resistance level at $31.57. But if we are taking a look at some short-term resistance levels, then we have this resistance over here at $32.70, and we have another nice resistance over here, and that is $34 pretty much. So yeah, other than that, we do have some resistance over here, but I don't think we're going to be coming up that quick. But we'll see. Solana has been performing very well, and it can do very well with these dips. It does recover very quickly, but like I said, if we do end up dropping back down, $22.20, and obviously I'm going to give you this support level over here because it does act like a support level over here. We wicked off this area June 29th, and that is $25.83. So all of these areas are great buying zones, and I do apologize if it does look a bit messy, but I'll clean up the charts for the next video. But this is important. These are important levels that you want to keep an eye on, because you want to know where you want to put your buying orders, right? So if you drop down $22.20, $25.83, $27.11, these are the buying orders that I have. And if I give you some buying orders, guys, then don't have the buying orders exactly like I gave you to them. Have them a bit above the price. So for example, if I give you $22.20, have a buy order at $22.25 or 30 cents, just so you're safe. And if it doesn't even wick down to that price that I gave you, you are going to have your buy order filled. So keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know if I missed out anything on the charts. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.